Hi, Linda Bowen here from StampingWithLinda.com, your cardiologist since 1997, helping you create cards from the heart. If you watched my blog post yesterday, you've seen that I shared this beautiful card that is a pop-up card. It is called a pop-up flip card, and it was done by a team member, Kim Baker, and she won in my recent challenge with this card. The cool thing about this card is that it's the first time that I've seen this creative fold, but Kim was taught by Kim Peck from California, who had done a similar card with this pop-up. So kind of cool that a downline member in Illinois learned how to do a creative fold from a dear friend in California of mine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my version of this pop-up flip card, and I am using the Designer Series paper. This Designer Series paper is a limited edition and is only available while supplies last, or the 1st of May. And I first took a piece and cut it 3/4 by 3 3/4. Next, I have a piece that's 2 inches by 5 1/4. Then I have a piece that's 3 1/8 by 5 1/4, and a piece that is 4 inches by 5 1/4. Excuse me. I have a piece of Pool Party that measures 4 by 5, and a piece of Pool Party that's 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, and I have already scored that at 4 1/4 to form my card base. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go in and we are going to score the 4 by 5 inch Pool Party. This is going to cause the pop-up and the flip, and we are going to score this piece at along the 5 inch at the 2, the 3, and the 4, and then we're going to score on the 4 inch side. We are going to score it at a 1/2 inch. Let me double check. Yes, a 1/2 inch and then 3 1/2. But we are only going to, I almost made a mistake, we're only going to score down to where our 1 inch score mark is. So we're starting at the 1/2 inch and we are going to be stopping at that 1 inch mark. And then we're going to slide it over to the 3 1/2 and do the same thing. Score it down to that 1 inch score line. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to take our snips and we are going to cut that center off or out. So right along our score lines, from that 1 inch score line along the 5 inch and the 1/2 inch along the 4. So we've got that. Next, what we're going to do is we are going to use this for our flip part of it, and I'm going to score it right about 1 inch. So again, that is just the piece that I cut out of this center. So we're going to go ahead and take our bone folder and burnish those edges. And a dry, scratchy throat. Let me grab a little sip of water here. Okay, then we are going to take our 4 by 5 1/4 inch Designer Series paper, and we just want to add adhesive very close to the edge of that paper. We want no adhesive in the center. Got that. Place that on the front of the card. And then we are just going to put, this is the 5 1/4 by, let's see, this is 2 by 5 1/4. No, this must be the 3 1/8 by 5 1/4. That goes at the bottom. This is the one I want, that smaller piece, which is 2 by 5 1/4. And I'm just going to put adhesive just along the edge, and I'm going to put it in the center of the top piece of that cardstock. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this piece in, and I want adhesive just on these flaps. So I think I am going to go ahead and use my Stampin' Seal Plus on this. And we are going to tuck that underneath this piece here. So we're just going to slide it up in there. We've got that secure like so. Next, what we're going to do, oops, you know what? I did not want to do that. What is the saying? Do as I say, not as I do. So we're going to remove that. We're going to add some more adhesive. We need to cut our circle out of the front of the card before I put that piece in. So we're going to add that here. I'm going to grab my large stitch circle die, and we're going to cut that circle out of the front. I'm going to just go over here to my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I guess I could have brought that over. Got a lot of little pieces on it from what I would cut before. So just bear with me a minute. We're going to center that and run it through my machine. Like I said, I could have brought my machine over here, but I didn't. So I've got that cut out. And we are not going to be using that Designer Series paper, so we could actually use that for another card. I'm just going to use that circle, and I'm going to take my Ornate embossing folder, and I am going to run that through my cut and emboss machine just to give it a different look. So we've got the circle with the flowers. Now we can go ahead and put our card together like what I was trying to do earlier. What I have done, I've already put that adhesive on one. I'm going to go ahead and add some glue dots to the back side. I could have used my tear and tape, and then I wouldn't have had to worry about having the adhesive adhering where I didn't want it. So we're just going to lift this up again and place those tabs right underneath, lining the fold line up against the edge of that Designer Series paper. And again, this is why we didn't want to add too much adhesive to that strip. So we've got that. Next, what we're going to do is we want to take and adhere this piece to the base of our card. And what I have found is if I fold it up like so, add my adhesive. You want a lot of adhesive on this because it is going to be folding back and forth. Again, you could use your tear and tape. So I'm just putting extra adhesive. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold this up like so. So I've got my little pop-up. I'm going to take that smaller piece of Designer Series paper and I'm going to put that on the edge, but at first I want to add this piece. So I'm going to add some adhesive. Remember, this is the piece that we cut out of the center. Sure I'm doing this right, and I'm not. I want to adhere the bigger piece. To here. So I want that kind of in the middle. I've got adhesive here, and that is where, I'll show that, that is where I am going to reposition that circle that we cut out. We've got this. Pops up like so. Now we want to hide our mechanism in here, and I see I may have that piece a little bit too big, so I'm just going to cut it out off just about 1/4 of an inch. I think I have my base could have been pushed back a little further than that would have fit, but again, you can just adjust it. I think I've cut enough off of that. Now I see I have not cut for my base for my writing. If you look at Kim's, she had a rectangle piece down here that I need to apply, but for the time being, we will just use this like so. So we've got our base. We're gonna fold it down like so. Oops, I forgot to take that small piece and lay it on the step like so. This is gonna go in here. And then I have just cut out the butterfly. This is directly from the Designer Series paper. There's no coloring in or anything with that butterfly. It's just from the Designer Series paper. I'm going to take a dimensional and put on it like so. I have already taken my words and have stamped them with a Glorious Grape and used the mini messages bundle. This is a cool bundle to already have your greetings done. They're already cut out and just ready to go. I like the smaller words for tight spaces like this. So I've got my greeting. Again, I would take let me see if I've just got a piece of white that I could set in here like so. And when I open that, that would just lean up against like so. And that's where you would write your words or your greeting. Okay, got that. Again, it's not, it would have been better if I had done the rectangle ahead of time, but you've got the idea. Next, what I'm going to do is I am going to add some ribbon to mine. I am going to take the Pool Party sheer ribbon. I'm going to wrap it around the card. I'm going to go underneath that pop-up, and I'm going to tie a knot. And then I'm going to add just a little snippet of the Gorgeous Grape sheer ribbon just to pull out that purple from the Designer Series paper. So we've got that. Then I'm going to just grab a little piece of this purple. Just lay it flat and tie a knot. So many different ways you can use ribbon without tying a bow. Pull that through. I'm going to pull it out here like so. Well, my fingers are all thumbs. There we go. And then we'll trim that. This sheer ribbon has been on back order, the Gorgeous Grape Forever. They're saying that possibly next week we should get it back in. Very pretty ribbon. And again, it just accents that card. So there you have a fun pop-up flip card. Hope you've enjoyed today's video. We'll talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.